Now, The Hunt Palmer Show.
Waiting to rise again.
You're listening to The Hunt Palmer Show. Brought to you by Quirks, Cajun fried fish and shrimp on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
This is the moment you've all been waiting for.
Locking down the middle of the day. Live from the Raising Cane studio. This is Hunt Palmer.
Welcome in! Hunt Palmer coming to you from the Raising Cane studio downtown in the capital city on this Friday. I hope that work week's in the rearview mirror. If not, we'll get you to the finish line here on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. We're brought to you by Corks, Cajun fried fish and shrimp. Jordan Kitchens and Braxton Rizzuto back there on the ones and twos, and we are fired up. You are here with us. There's a lot going on in the world of sports right now. College World Series Finals starts tomorrow. U.S. Open from Shinnecock into round 2 today. They're hoping to finish. I believe that they will. World Cup in action. LSU will not be playing in the World Cup. USA, I think, plays in an hour. It sounds right, 2 o'clock. You never know with the time zones. They're all over the place, and I'm probably not going to watch the game. So it's coming up in an hour, though. So there's lots going on in the world of sports. We got to talk about the Saints. We got to talk about LSU football recruiting with Preston Guy. LSU baseball got some good news yesterday. So plenty to get to, including some sound from Joe Burrow, who was speaking rather bluntly yesterday. So we'll get to that in hour number 2. Lock us in. Let's get started the way we do every day with our opening drive.
Welcome to the big league.
It's time for Hunt's Opening Drive. Presented by Fabry Chevrolet GMC in St. Francisville.
I think the biggest local storyline this weekend is probably LSU football recruiting. We're going to do that with Preston in 15 minutes, so I won't lead my show with that. Admittedly, this is probably not the biggest headline I'm leading with, but it's one that I don't think you'll hear many other places on this station today, so let's do it. LSU baseball gets some good news yesterday. Braxton Beatty, who is a left-handed signee in this class, who just finished high school, is to be a freshman next season, announced yesterday he has pulled his name out of the Major League Baseball draft, and he will enroll at LSU. If you recall, this has happened a few times with LSU over the last couple of years. Stephen Milam did this. Derek Curiel did this. William Schmidt did this. Omar Cerna did this. And when you hear those names, you think, whoa, like Stephen Milam is going to go down as one of the better shortstops in the program's history. Derek Curiel has been a superstar for 2 years, a national champion, going to be a top 15 pick in the draft. William Schmidt, that's a big deal to get him to campus. Did you see what Omar Cerna showed in SEC play this past year? These are dudes that LSU has brought in and pulled themselves out of the draft. That's a big deal. And I would suggest that getting Braxton Beatty to say, hey, I'm not going to sign professionally and come to LSU is a big deal for LSU. But he's not quite the draft prospect those guys were. Certainly not Curiel, certainly not Schmidt, and I don't believe Cerna as well. Cerna's really toolsy dude. You saw him as a freshman this year. Braxton Beatty is a 6'1"-ish left-handed pitcher who throws a lot of 90, 91 mile an hour fastballs. Like, he's not a projected first-round pick in this coming draft. In fact, I wouldn't put him in the top 8 or 9 draft risks in this signing class. So this is not a stunning development that's going to rock Major League Baseball draft rooms to their core. Like, the Major League draft rooms would have noticed when Derek Curiel said, I'm out, guys. They would have noticed that. When William Schmidt said, okay, take me off your board, like, they would have had to literally do that. With Beatty, it's not quite that. But this is a very intriguing prospect that LSU is going to get to campus next year. We know in this transfer cycle that LSU is looking for left-handed pitching. If you're a fan, you want them to go find some left-handed pitching. And Beatty is left-handed, and he very well could be a key piece to LSU's bullpen next year. It feels to me like the most likely path, not one that I've etched in stone, but the most likely path for Braxton Beatty in this program is a lightly used freshman in some midweek action this past year, and perhaps with the starter's trajectory in year 2 and year 3, he is not a draft-eligible sophomore. He profiles a little bit more to me on the path. They're not similar pitchers at all, but on the path of Reagan Ricken. Does that make sense? He is a guy that does not have monster stuff, but has a starter's profile. What do I mean by that? Braxton Beatty, as I mentioned, is 6'1"-ish. He has got an incredibly smooth and easy left-handed delivery. And he can generate 93 miles an hour as a high schooler from that delivery. But it's very, very smooth. You look at a guy like Devin Sheeran, like that's not smooth. Like William Schmidt is kind of max effort. This delivery is closer to Cade Anderson. It's closer to Reagan Ricken. It's closer to Aaron Nola. It's just very smooth. And when you are a mover like that and you have smooth rhythm and you have a repeatable motion, you throw a lot of strikes. And generally speaking, you can get to your fastball velocity with more ease and not putting a strain on your arm. Now, I say that with the understanding that Braxton Beatty also had Tommy John and missed his junior season. Cade Anderson missed his senior season. Beatty missed his junior season. He was able to come back this year. He pitched in high school, pitched very well. He pitched in some of the showcases. He went out to Arizona and pitched in that. And this is a guy that I really think has a bright future in baseball, and certainly we hope it's very, very bright in Baton Rouge. But he's a very interesting prospect because he does throw a lot of strikes. He does have a 92-ish mile-an-hour fastball that I think you could stand to reason in April of next year. He's a top-out 94, pitch at 91, 92 guy from the left side. And that's plenty of juice to get outs in the Southeastern Conference. Is it as much juice as some of the guys that LSU has on this staff? No, it's not. And I don't think this is a guy who was probably closer to a 6th, 7th round grade, maybe a 9th round grade than he was a 1st round grade. But it's still a good thing for LSU. When you can get these guys through the draft, it's a big, big deal. I know that y'all mainly want to talk about this team coming up in 2027, 2028, 2029. We'll cross those bridges when we get to them. I do think it's possible that Beatty helps because I think he throws it over the plate. The question is, to what degree? And he's going to join a group right now that's got Danny Lockenmeyer, Cooper Williams, and Ethan Plog in it. We don't think Santiago Garcia is going to be in it. I think he's probably going to sign professionally. We'll talk about him in hour number 2 when we go through some summer ball stuff. But he'll be in a group of left-handers. I think there are a couple of left-handers in this signing class that will not get to campus. So he's one that will. And he can compete for some time. In this pitching staff, here's the deal. When they start school in August and they start fall practice in September, you're going to have a pitching staff that is competing for everything. Like, do you want to tell me as an LSU fan that watched this team, do you want to tell me one guy who you can pencil in and you know that's his role on this team and from a pitching perspective next year? Is there one guy you can say that about? Like, the most confidence you could probably give me is that Cooper Moore is going to start the season as a starting pitcher. But he's coming off of injury. So how convicted could you be in that opinion? You could give me Kason Evans is going to be a starting pitcher on the weekend. I would buy that. I think he will be. Do you know it's going to be Friday? Do you know he's not going back to the bullpen where he was great as a freshman? No is a strong word. Think is a different word. And I think that's where he's headed. But there's a lot up for grabs here. I could see Landon Hood as the Friday night starter. Gonzaga transfer, 97, 98 mile an hour fastball, wicked changeup. Yeah, that works as a Friday night guy. I can see him as the closer. I can see William Schmidt emerging as the ace. Sure, that's in there. 97 mile an hour heater, highest spin rate breaking ball on the team. All right, that sounds like a Friday night starter to me. But then you look at the ERA from this past year, that doesn't say Friday night guy. Yeah, I think Cooper Moore's got a high floor as a starter. He's coming off injury. Marcos Paz, I don't know. Could be the closer. Could start on Tuesdays and come out of the bullpen on the weekend. Might be the Sunday starter. I don't know any of these guys' roles right now. It's all competition in the fall. It's all competition in the preseason in January and early February. And when they start playing baseball, you'll start to see roles shake out over the course of that as well. And so I'm willing to throw Braxton Beatty into the mix here and go, show me what you got, kid. There's nothing on this staff that's set in stone. We have had pitchers set in stone entering a season before. Now, most of them are aces like Nola, but even like Poche and Lang, after they were awesome together in 2015, in 16 and 17, they were in the rotation. Case closed. You don't have that on this year's team because they didn't pitch well enough anywhere for any of those guys to come in with any sort of preconceived notion that you're in. Now, Jay Johnson, when speaking to the media, would probably argue with me, and he would say, No, Kason Evans is a weekend starter on this team. He's a Friday night guy. William Schmidt's a weekend starter. He would probably tell me that. But right now, for me, the analyst of the team, not the head coach, I would suggest I need to see it. And so Braxton Beatty is an intriguing prospect. I think, personally, he's got a starter's trajectory as a sophomore and a junior in this program. I think he's a lightly used freshman. It would not surprise me a ton if he becomes a key left-hander on the weekend for this team, because he is a talented guy who throws strikes, who may have a couple more miles an hour in the tank because of that smooth delivery in his freshman season, and may keep left-handers off balance. But it's a good thing to get some of these guys through. This is the time of the year where you usually see one or two guys from LSU's classes tell Major League Baseball, I'm going to LSU. You still got 4 weeks until the draft. 3 weeks? 3 weeks until the draft. So you've got some time. But this is a good start for LSU. And this is a draft class that's got a lot of swing guys in it. I wouldn't have put Beatty on the top of that list. There are guys that are more likely to be on the fence, but you'll take everything you can get from a young freshman class. And so Braxton Beatty, left-hander from Texas, is headed to LSU as a freshman next year. He will not be a Major League Baseball draft pick, and I think that's a good thing to get left-handed pitching in the door in as much bulk as you possibly can. So good news for LSU baseball. If you'd like to read more about it, you can over at LouisianaSports.net. Got that story up from last night. Friday show is brought to you by Corks, Cajun Fried Fish, and Shrimp. Big weekend. LSU's got a 5-star on campus. He's committed, but he's on campus this weekend for an official visit. We'll talk about that and much more with Preston Guy of TigerBait.com when we come back.
The Hunt Palmer Show.
Fabry Chevrolet GMC, FabryChevrolet.com. That is FabryChevrolet.com. You know, we're working towards the end of the month, right? So that means if you're looking for the deals that they have at Fabry Chevrolet GMC for this month, you got to get by and see them. So if you're looking for a 2026 Chevy Silverado at 0% APR financing, get on by Fabry Chevrolet GMC in St. Francisville. Looking for a GMC Sierra, you can get a 2026 1500 at 2.9 financing for 72 months. That's 5 years. Get on by and see them before the end of the month. If you're looking for a Chevy Trailblazer or Chevy Trax, as low as $30,000. They've got new, they've got pre-owned, they've got low mileage cars, they've got everything you're looking for. Go to the website, Fabry Chevrolet GMC, sort by whatever it is that you are looking for. You'll see what they've got in stock, and you can go by and see them on Highway 61 in St. Francisville. It's Fabry Chevrolet GMC. They're online at FabryChevrolet.com.
Another roof gone too soon. Looks like neglect. There's no doubt about it. This is a case of poor installation. At Pelican Roofing, we don't guess. We investigate to find the real cause of your roof's problems. Call Pelican Roofing for your free roof investigation today. Case closed.
The experts at Hood Dental Care want you smiling bigger and healthier than ever. New patients can get a healthy gums cleaning for just $89, plus a free exam and full mouth x-rays. A $376 value. With over 3,000 5-star Google reviews, 5 local locations, and easy online scheduling with same-day care. Hood Dental makes it simple to get started. And we always have other great giveaways for new patients. Check out hooddentalcare.com and schedule your appointment today.
Want to play baseball or softball like the pros? Then join me this Thursday at Marucci's Hitter's House on Seagan. We'll be broadcasting AFR live, so come take some hacks in the cages and meet our friends over at Marucci, the official bat of Major League Baseball at Marucci's Hitter's House.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has the new 2025 Ram 1500 truck with $18,000 off MSRP plus 3.9% financing for 60 months. $18,000 off plus the 7-year powertrain warranty that comes with all new Bayou Automotive vehicles. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
This is the Hunt Palmer Show, brought to you by Corks, Cajun fried fish and shrimp.
Friday shows always brought to you by Corks, Cajun fried fish and shrimp. Check out the menu, corksfishandshrimp.com. It's right there online. You can get by and see them on Government between Foster and Jefferson. Corks, Cajun fried fish and shrimp. Let's talk some Tiger football. To do that, we go with Preston Guy. TigerBait.com on Fridays. He's on the Jim's Firearms Hotline. Preston, how we doing?
How's it going? No slow time of the year for us at Tiger Bait. We are moving full steam ahead here. We don't need baseball to stay busy.
I mean, they've got 100 commitments in 10 days. I've never seen this many commitments. Yeah. It's the most commitments I've ever seen that is not like 4 days before National Signing Day in 2014. It has been remarkable to watch. What do you make of the volume of commitments over the last 2 weeks?
Well, you joke, Hunt, but between signing players and getting transfer portal commitments, I think they got 59 in like 40 days in January this year. I think it's 10 in the month, probably 9 in the month of June. They've gotten, they're doing just fine. There was also a decommitment. There's Jaden Bryan in there, and you replace him with not one, but 2 5-star edge rushers. So a big win in that department. Certainly, you like what you're seeing out of Chris Whitehead and KJ Green. Both of them are really, really good pass rushers. And you have a third 5-star committed in this class, Ahmad Hudson, who is on campus right now taking an official visit, which is really good news. After he came off an official visit to Nebraska, where we know Nebraska's going to do everything they can to bring him on board.
Yeah, that's kind of where I wanted to start, because you feel like the biggest bullet to dodge is the official elsewhere, which he took last week to Nebraska and did not flip. Now he's in Baton Rouge, where you feel very comfortable with him there. So what do you think that means for Ahmad Hudson's recruiting as we inch toward that December signing day at a very slow pace this time of year?
Yeah, I mean, I talked to some people in the know about him, and on the LSU end of things, they're not super worried about that. They feel like they're in a good spot. He loves LSU, right? He's a local kid from Ruston. So, LSU does have some really good advantages there. Certainly, Nebraska wants him, but, I mean, the dynamic of him being a K-State kid and what LSU's offense can be with Lane Kiffin, they're in a really good spot. Where you really worry is after you get the commitment like that, they go and take an official visit. But the fact that he didn't cancel his official visit to LSU and he is now back on LSU's campus, where after that, it's like boxing. You get one good punch with an official visit to Nebraska. Well, LSU now gets a counterpunch. They're standing as the team not only with the upper hand, but now they get to, extend that lead, so to speak. So I think obviously, nothing is ever going to be final until the dotted line is signed, and even then, that gets a little, lumpy in these days. But I think LSU sits in a really good position for him.
Let's stick with Ruston prospects. Might as well. Of course, Aiden Anding on campus right now as a sophomore defensive back. Unfortunately, tore his Achilles in the scrimmage we were there for in Tiger Stadium, so he'll miss this season. His younger brother, Jaden, is a safety from Ruston who's on campus now. What can you tell us about that? That would seem to be a natural connection for LSU.
It would seem like a natural connection, and he's a guy who's really coming up the ratings here as of late. LSU has pushed hard for him over the last 2 or 3 months. And he would be, certainly the family ties there, the local ties are there. He's a kid I would be surprised if LSU didn't seal the deal on. The one thing that makes me worry about him is maybe, he's a kid LSU really wants, and maybe there's other teams out there who are just absolutely desperate for, a good coverage safety, because that's what he is. He's not a big rangy guy. We're talking about probably 5'10", 5'11", about $180. So good coverage guy. maybe someone else wants to throw a giant bag at him. But I think LSU is in the driver's seat, and assuming it's not a financial, problem, I think LSU is in a good position to bring him in. And of course, he's on campus, and so is his older brother, so you should be in good shape there.
One thing that stood out to me when I looked at the visitor list for the weekend was the amount of commitments to other schools that LSU is bringing in. You've got Malik Howard, who's committed to Tennessee as a 4-star. You've also got Yazin Zion, who's a Wisconsin commit on the defensive line. You've got an Arizona commitment at linebacker in Devon Smith, a Houston commitment in Gary Burney from Parkway up in Bossier. LSU got any chance with those guys that have commitments elsewhere?
Definitely a chance. I mean, the fact that they're on campus here shows you that they have a chance. I don't know that I would necessarily designate LSU as the favorite for any one of these guys, right? Obviously, Burney is the one being from Parkway. I feel like LSU, if they were to roll out the red carpet and push really hard for him, that they would get him. I also, the thing that makes me question, I don't have any specific information from agents or anything like these, especially a guy like Burney, who's a 3-star wide receiver. The strategy of the high school recruiting class here is very much so they're going to use their funds on top-heavy guys they feel like are going to come in and contribute within 2 years, right? For guys like that they might look at as more of a developmental prospect, it truly has to be more of an organic recruiting process. Like, hey, here's a scholarship offer. Do you want to be a part of this? Because they're not rolling out, this colossal bag for these guys. I'm saying they won't pay him anything or anything like that. That's not what I'm trying to get at. But, it's not going to be like hey, man, we got a $1 million contract on you, right? So as far as I'm aware, I don't think LSU is necessarily in the driver's seats for any of those guys to flip just as of yet. But it's one of those deals where we're going to have to see how the visit goes this weekend, right? And then follow up and we'll have more intel.
Preston Guy's our guest. He's at TigerBait.com. Braylon Calais is an LSU commitment, a 4-star from Cecilia, which is a smaller school here on the I-10 corridor. He's listed as an athlete. I know he does a lot of things for Cecilia. What do you think is his best attribute, and where's LSU looking at him?
Yeah, I mean, this guy's a speed guy, man. I mean, he is, and by the way, he's tall too, good 6'2". So I think LSU could use him in a number of ways. I think probably his best bet is going to be wide receiver here for LSU. I mean, obviously, you have to think about the defensive end of things as well. But he's every bit one of those, Louisiana speed guys, that stinky speed. He's definitely a good fit. I'm actually really glad to see he was one of the early commitment in this process, and see him come and shore things up with the new staff here. That was a really good sign. I really like where LSU sits for him, and I really like what his skill set and versatility brings to LSU.
As far as the higher profile guys in the state go, obviously Easton Royal is chief among them. It's kind of all quiet on that front after a couple of visits. You'd also like to go grab an offensive lineman from right down the road who's got A&M right in his crosshairs as well. What are you hearing about the higher profile Louisiana players in this class?
Right. So obviously you're referring to Albert Simeon,
yep.
Like Lake Charles guy there. Albert Simeon, I actually don't like LSU's odds super great. I'm not saying LSU's out of it. I mean, LSU's certainly going to be in the top 3 here for his services. But I think that, there's some size questions with him and the amount of, financial investment that you're going to have to put in to get him. I question if the staff's evaluation matches his national evaluation, where basically, according to the rankings, he's considered one of the best offensive linemen in the country. And, I question his size, and I question, Billy Glasscock's desire to, you got to take funds away from your ability to work the portal to get a guy like that. And you're fighting with a team, Texas A&M, who has no shortage of money. Texas A&M, if you look at their recruiting class this year, they're on absolute fire. So I think I actually like LSU's chances better with Easton Roy. Now, of course, the caveat here is they do prefer to use their funds on guys in the trenches rather than skill position guys, right? But I think Easton Royal is a different situation. I think they recognize just how special of a talent Easton Royal is. I mean, guy who runs a 10-1 700-meter dash, 4.29 40, and he's in high school. And by the way, a guy who runs clean routes, soft hands, and he's very muscular. I mean, this is not one of those very thin, like when LSU signed Jelani Watkins, he obviously was very fast. But Jelani Watkins was maybe 165, 170 pounds. I mean, Easton Royal's a good 190, or probably closer to 200. I mean, if you look at him, he is very fit. He is taking his official visit to Texas. There was some talk and rumors of him maybe canceling that visit and flipping to LSU this week. I think there's some truth to that. I think they did come relatively close, but I'll say this. What was that? 2 days ago, I contacted the Royal camp, and they told me, no, we're going to Texas, and there's no plans to flip to LSU this week. There's no immediate plans to flip to LSU. So that tells you that if LSU did make progress on him, Texas went and fought back. But, the fact that noise like that is coming out, right, I think that means LSU has showed progress. LSU has gotten competitive with their offer with Texas. And I think that overall, I think this will be a battle that comes down, comes down to the wire. We probably won't be done with this recruiting process and talking to this until December, because Texas wants them bad. LSU wants them bad. It is what it is. Those are both teams with lots of money and lots of interest. And I would expect that LSU has financial advantages being the hometown team. They probably will be able to get him in for less money than Texas would. But I don't have anything concrete on that. I'll also say his agent being a Texas alum, that definitely plays a factor here as well.
I know that you've got your ear to the ground with the current team, the current roster, all summer long as well. Anything you're hearing out of there, whether it's Sam Leavitt, his health, off-season workouts, anything of that nature these days, or is it pedal down on recruiting at this point?
Oh, it's pedal down on recruiting, but we got a nice little Easter egg. We got Lane Kiffin on the Tyrann Matthew podcast. Yeah. I listened to all of that. I have to say, very interesting, good, fun podcast to listen to. But he was talking about the team and talking about how Sam Leavitt has now been cleared, which is a good sign. To be fully cleared for tackle football in June means he should not just be good enough to go by the time August rolls around. He should be 2 months past good to go, which means hopefully that foot will be stable and he'll not only be out there, he'll be running around doing his thing. So that's a good sign. I liked what he talked about Dylan Jones. Kind of confirms what a lot of us were noticing, that he's an impressive prospect out there. I'm still not 100% sold he's going to be your starting running back, but he's definitely going to be a contributing running back.
There's very little question about that at this point. Preston, appreciate the time. Have a great weekend. Happy Father's Day, and we'll talk next week.
All right, talk to you soon.
That is Preston Guy, TigerBait.com. Appreciate him for giving us some LSU football information every single Friday. Our Friday show is brought to you by Corks, Cajun Fried Fish and Shrimp. When we come back, do I have the guts to change course on a College World Series prediction? They start the championship series tomorrow night. I'll give you my breakdown next.
The Hunt Palmer Show.
One Bath and Closets. OneBathAndClosets.com is the website. David Duvall and his team, 30 years redesigning and remodeling bathrooms and closets. They can do an entire bathroom transformation for you. I know there are a lot of folks that have got those 90s style tubs with all the jets and jacuzzis. You may have a big square shower that you walk into. You can transform that bathroom. David does it all the time. If you take that shower that stands alone, turn that into a linen closet, and then change that tub space into a walk-in shower, it's amazing what you'll see is done to those bathrooms. It's a change aesthetically. It's a change functionally. You can see pictures of it at onebathandclosets.com. Check out the great work that David and his team do. Did a full bathroom transformation for Brian Haldane, who hosts our morning show on Talk 107.3, and the Haldanes have been thrilled with that work. Go to the website, onebathandclosets.com, and request that free consultation. You can see pictures of the great work. You can see the reviews from their satisfied customers, but you can also request that consultation. Just sit down with David. That part doesn't cost anything. Sit down with him, chat. He'll tell you what they can do for you, and they can transform your bathroom. They'll do it right the first time and leave the competition behind. It's One Bath and Closets. You can find them online at onebathandclosets.com.
Hi, I'm Mitchell Meredith with Locke Meredith Sean Fagan & Associates. We take great pride in educating our clients about their rights. Whether you're injured at work or while you drive, call our office at 272-5555. Knowledge is power, and you should know your rights after an injury.
Hi, I'm Sean Fagan of Lock Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates. When insurance companies have been unfair, we've never been afraid to go to trial. Fighting hard to protect your rights, we never settle a case out of convenience. We only settle when it's right for you. Whether you hire us at all, give us a call.
If your office is experiencing performance issues like slow networks, jammed printers, or disappearing files, Advanced Office Systems may be right for you. With powerful IT solutions, print management, document imaging, and security systems, they help offices regain confidence naturally. Side effects may include uncontrollable efficiency, smoother workflows, and a sudden burst of office joy. Say goodbye to those emotional breakdowns in the supply closet and get back on track with Advanced Office Systems.
Box combo for George. I see you, Luis. Food's on the way.
Please don't. Hey, you know you can use your hands, right?
Got those box combos for you. Raising Cane's chicken fingers. One love.
Bayou Ford is taking $12,000 off MSRP on the new 2026 Ford F-150 trucks, plus the complimentary 7-year powertrain warranty that comes with all new Bayou Automotive vehicles. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
At Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer, we know you deserve value when you purchase equipment. Right now, take advantage of the powerful 3025E tractor for just $297 a month, with 0% financing for 72 months. Tractor packages with a trailer also available. Whether you're tackling land, property, or projects, get your job done. Don't wait. This offer ends June 30th, 2026. Some restrictions apply. Visit sunequip.com or stop by a Sunshine location today.
The experts at Hood Dental Care want you smiling bigger and healthier than ever. New patients can get a healthy gums cleaning for just $89, plus a free exam and full mouth x-rays. A $376 value. With over 3,000 five-star Google reviews, 5 local locations, and easy online scheduling with same-day care. Hood Dental makes it simple to get started. And we always have other great giveaways for new patients. Check out hooddentalcare.com and schedule your appointment today.
I'm Billy Schmidt.
You're listening to The Hunt Palmer Show, brought to you by Corks, Cajun fried fish and shrimp.
Love telling you about the Highland Insurance Group. They're online at highlandig.com. That's highlandig.com. Jonathan Carver and his team are phenomenal folks to work with on the insurance front. They're experts when it comes to coverage. So if the only thing you ever worry about is premium, how much do you know about the coverage? How much do you think about what would happen if we had a significant storm? What would happen if you did have an employee that got into a serious car wreck, or if somebody in your organization clicked on an email that he or she was not supposed to and then didn't alert anybody, and then 3 weeks went by and you don't even know how compromised your server could be or what that might cost? Well, do you have the right property insurance? Do you have the right auto limits? Do you have the right umbrella limits? Do you have the right cyber coverage? All these things are not necessarily top of mind for a business owner, but they are all the time at the Highland Insurance Group. And they'll make sure that for that premium that you're talking about, that you're concerned with, that you do have the right coverages for your organization. They've got clients across the gamut that do just about everything. So whatever it is that you do, the Highland Insurance Group has got a client that's in that line of work, and they certainly have carriers that specialize in insuring those businesses. So if you want to know more about your insurance program, want to make sure, especially during storm season, that you're taken care of for some of the scarier things that could happen to you, the Highland Insurance Group is here to help you with that. So the Highland Insurance Group, they're online at highlandig.com. That's highlandig.com. All right, tomorrow cranks up the College World Series final. Both teams got through clean, 3-0, just like last year. LSU and Coastal got through 3-0 clean. They had Thursday and Friday off. That's the case this time around. So what we get now in the College World Series final is everybody's pitching staff ready to go. Ace is ready. Number 2's ready. Bullpen ready. Bats playing well. If it's anything like last year, which I don't think it will be, but if it's anything like last year, you've had the opportunity for Oklahoma fans, which is pretty close to Nebraska, by the way, to drive up, for North Carolina fans to go see if their team can win their first national championship. I mean, I remember this, and I've told y'all this. I was doing my show from the Ameristar last year in Council Bluffs, and there was a really good LSU presence the first weekend and early the first week. But once LSU won on Wednesday against Arkansas in that wild walk-off game with Jared Jones, I did my show on Thursday from 1 to 3 and on Friday from 1 to 3, and I sat there just by the elevators at the Ameristar just outside the sportsbook and watched Purple and Gold walk in that door for 2 days straight. It was just an absolute takeover. Now, I'm not suggesting that North Carolina and Oklahoma are the same as LSU when it comes to traveling for the College World Series. However, I mean, let me just do this is easy to look up. Norman to Omaha. I want to see how far it is. It can't be that far. It's not that far from from Fayetteville. Okay, it's farther than I thought, but it's doable. It's 7 hours. It's 7 hours. You got 2 days to make that plan, and you don't have to buy a plane ticket if you don't want to from Norman. And Norman's just outside Oklahoma City. You figure that's where most of the alumni base that's still in the state are. There's a lot in Dallas. Dallas to Omaha, pretty sure they got a direct flight. So you can get there pretty quickly, and I would imagine there will be a good presence from both of those teams. It won't be LSU. It won't be Ole Miss. It won't be Mississippi State. And there are some people that are tweeting out that the College World Series has kind of lacked a little bit of punch because Arkansas is not there, and Ole Miss is gone, and Mississippi State's not there, and LSU is not there. Texas has been eliminated. A&M's not there. Some of the best traveling fan bases are not there, and you're just not going to get that kind of punch from Georgia. You're not going to get that kind of punch from some of the teams that qualified. Tennessee made a nice crowd there in Omaha when they won their national championship. But you've got the ingredients for a really good final here. So I'm going to make my pick at the end of the segment, but I want to go into kind of what I'm thinking when I'm watching here. You're getting two pitchers tomorrow in game one that should be sensational, just like you got last year. Cade Anderson, of course, threw the complete game shutout. But look, Cam Fluke was sensational in that game for Coastal. LSU got a run early, got the big hit from Milam to plate that early run, and you really just kind of made that stand up with Anderson to the tune of 2-0, and that was all you got. But that's the type of pitching game I expect to see tomorrow because these two guys are throwing it out of their minds. DeCaro, in his super start and his Omaha start, combined 15 2/3 innings, 7 hits, 2 runs, 17 strikeouts, and 4 walks. He was sensational against USC in a complete game shutout. He was fantastic against Ole Miss. And then Cord Rager, the freshman left-hander, I mean, unbelievable. He was really good against Kansas. 6 innings, 1 hit, no runs. And then you know what he did in their College World Series opener against Alabama. Just absolutely ridiculous. 7 innings, 3 hits, no runs, 8 strikeouts, 1 walk. That's a lot of numbers, but let me get to these two guys combined in the Super and Game 1 in Omaha. These two pitchers combined, 28 2/3 innings, 2 runs, 31 strikeouts, 6 walks. That's what you're seeing from these two guys in Jason DeCaro, who's now a junior, and Cord Rager, who is a freshman. It is a fantastic pitching rotation matchup right at the top. And these two teams are attempting to get the ball to their stud bullpen guys who are rested and ready to rock. It's basically the Mercurius brothers at Oklahoma at the back end, and then for North Carolina, it's the best 2 bullpen bullets in the NCAA tournament, really. I mean, Caden Glauber is 11-0 on the season. When he pitches, North Carolina's 24-0. That's pretty loud. His ERA is 2.17. He's got 106 strikeouts over the course of 87 innings. He's been sensational out of the bullpen. And look, you hadn't had too much behind that in Walker McDuffie, who has got the glasses. He throws the hard sinker. He throws the hard slider. He's got a good changeup. And he's not quite as gaudy, but he's a 3.2 ERA. He's got 86 strikeouts in 69 innings. Those two guys, even though they're both right-handed, are sensational. And that's what these two teams are trying to do. And they're both hitting like crazy. I don't have a good explanation for this power surge from Oklahoma, but it's real because they're all doing it. It was for a point there. It was like, oh, it's Dayton the chance. He's been good. But Taki hit the walk-off home run against Georgia Tech, and then Walk hit a homer the other day that he's not a power hitter. He's a guy that plays center field and runs the bases, but he's hitting for power. They're just crushing everything in sight. Jackson Willis has had a good go of it. Branch at second base has been good. Like, they're just crushing everything. I don't expect them to crush DeCaro, but they're crushing everything in sight. This is going to be a really, really good pitching matchup, and I expect it to be a very low-scoring game in Game 1. Now, I don't know what the weather's going to be, and that dictates almost everything, as y'all are well aware. But this is great stuff. And this is a personal thing that I'm so excited about, and I talked about this for the national championship game in football this year when it was Miami, Indiana. I don't give a rip who wins this. There are some that will say, I like to make fun of the ACC. I don't want the ACC to get a championship, go away North Carolina. There are some that say, screw the entire SEC. I say that. I don't consider Oklahoma as some sort of SEC force. I get it. They've been in the national final now in 2 of the last 5 years. They were here against Ole Miss in 2022, and they're here now in 2026. That's loud. That's LSU good. That's Florida good. That's Tennessee good. They've been awesome. But I still don't consider what Oklahoma's doing to be a significant threat to LSU. They're not fishing in those talent-rich wells of high school recruiting. They're not spending the most money on the transfer portal guys. Their stadium is a complete joke. They're not a team that I find a threat, even though they've had significant success. That's just a credit to Skip Johnson for being awesome. And candidly, this is just a fever dream. This is not a great team that Skip Johnson put together with great recruits. This is a fever dream because we've got a sample size of 15 weeks that weren't like this. And now it is. And it's real right now. This is real right now for Oklahoma. They have every opportunity to win the national championship this year. It's still a fever dream. Fresno State had a fever dream. Coastal had a fever dream. It happens in this sport. It doesn't happen in college football. It doesn't happen in college basketball. You want to talk about NC State and call that a fever dream? I think that's fair. But it doesn't happen almost ever. At some point, a college basketball team's going to get got as they go through an NCAA tournament where they can't lose a game. In college football, they just don't allow you to get this far if you've had a mediocre season. College baseball, you can get hot and do it. And that's one of the things that I will absolutely take from this tournament is in those seasons where LSU's not playing great in early May, I'll just suggest, as long as you've got some good players, and Oklahoma does have some good players, as long as you've got some good players, you can make a push. LSU was capable of making a push in 2024. They could have done it. As long as you've got some good players, you can push the right buttons late. You've got to have some great things go your way. If Oklahoma is trailing Georgia Tech 8-2 10 times, they're probably only going to win one of them, but they won that one. And they were trailing again in Game 7 of the regional, and they came back and won that one. And they're probably not going to sweep Georgia 2 games a lot of times. But Georgia went to sleep on offense. We've seen that from great teams all the time. Oregon State in 2017 fell asleep at the wheel for 2 days on offense. Couldn't hit Caleb Gilbert. Wake Forest, yeah, Skeens was really good. But they had a chance the day before to beat Javen Coleman and Griffin Herring. And they couldn't do it. They fell asleep on offense. And Georgia fell asleep on offense. And Oklahoma took advantage of that. But they are a testament to getting hot at the right time. They haven't been great all year. But they're great right now. Right now, they're great. No question about it. So the question now becomes, Hunt, what are you going to do? Because you've been dogging this team for 3 weeks. You've said they're not very good, right? That's what you're saying. That's what you said, Hunt. I get it on Twitter, catching the Bayou Ford chat. I'm getting text messages when things happen. I'm trying to leave the studio over here. I got Luke Foster giving me garbage at the door, telling me that you can't possibly pick against him again. And I said a week ago, like, I'm late to the train here. I can't get on. The train's left the station. But I am telling you right now that this team today is great. In February, they were great. In March, they were not. In April, they were not. In May, they stunk. Until they didn't. I think North Carolina's better than Oklahoma. That bullpen is better. DeCaro is every bit as good. And offensively, they've got some real dudes. They got Hull, who's been sensational driving runs in all year. Gallagher is a guy that if you paid attention to LSU's regional 2 years ago, you remember as a freshman at third base. Now he's at second. That's been awesome. North Carolina's better than Oklahoma. Question is, are they going to win the national championship? Or am I going to switch gears and pick Oklahoma now that I'm admitting to you that Oklahoma is good. Now. And the answer to this entire hypothetical is this. North Carolina's going to win the title. Oklahoma is not a national championship team. They're not going to win 2 out of 3 here against this team. I think North Carolina is complete. I think they got the starting pitching. And I think Oklahoma in 3 games, I think we'll see you on Monday, is not going to have enough to get to the finish line. At some point, that pixie dust is going to run out. It didn't on Fresno State. It didn't on Coastal Carolina. It didn't on Ole Miss, who was a 14-16 team and the last team in the field. And I don't know that it has to run out completely on North Carolina, on Oklahoma, but they just have to get beat. And I think they will. I got North Carolina to win the national championship, and I'm ready. It could be Monday. It could be Tuesday. We can serve up a big heaping plate of crow. And I'm willing to take that. But I'm taking North Carolina. The train left the station without me a week ago, people. I can't jump on now. It's too late. Heels in 3. That's my pick for the College World Series final, and I cannot wait to watch it starting tomorrow night at Charles Schwab Field. All right, we'll come back and close out the hour. My kid had to answer Dad's favorite thing. What does he do for work? He gave some pretty good answers. I'll talk about them next.
The Hunt Palmer Show.
Swing Easy Golf Club in Baton Rouge, swingeasygcbr.com. Awesome weekend to get on by Swing Easy. It's Father's Day. You got an opportunity to spend some time doing whatever it is that you want to do. Well, what about playing some indoor golf? It's hot out there, y'all. It's hot. So if in the middle of the day you don't want to go spend 5 hours out there in the 95-degree heat, well, go inside for an hour and 45 minutes. It's a nice alternative, isn't it? You can play Shinnecock. You can play Pebble Beach, Cypress Point. Turn the U.S. Open on. Turn the World Cup on. Turn the College World Series final on. And play some golf at Swing Easy Golf Club. You can bring some friends. You can play by yourself. You can go work on your swing at the driving range. It's right there at Swing Easy Golf Club on Segan at Perkins. Get a membership. You can get a personal membership. That's going to afford you some hours each month to get in there and use those bays individually. You can also get a corporate membership to entertain clients. It's a nice place to host a meeting. You got comfortable chairs. You can hit some golf shots. They got cold beer in there as well. Turn the TV on. Great spot on Segan at Perkins. Swing Easy Golf Club. SwingEasyGCBR.com.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has the new 2025 Ram 1500 truck with $18,000 off MSRP plus 3.9% financing for 60 months. $18,000 off plus the 7-year powertrain warranty that comes with all new Bayou Automotive vehicles. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Hi, I'm Mitchell Meredith. At Locke Meredith Sean Fagan and Associates, we know each case and client are unique and that no 2 cases are the same. But one thing remains constant, and that is our passion to help our clients. After an accident, we know your life has changed, which is why we passionately fight to make you and your family whole. Remember, whether you hire us at all, give us a call at 272-5555. We're here to serve you.
If your office is experiencing performance issues like slow networks, jammed printers, or disappearing files, Advanced Office Systems may be right for you. With powerful IT solutions, print management, document imaging, and security systems, they help offices regain confidence naturally. Side effects may include uncontrollable efficiency, smoother workflows, and a sudden burst of office joy. Say goodbye to those emotional breakdowns in the supply closet and get back on track with Advanced Office Systems.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. Look, back pain can sideline you from the things you love. That's why I trust Dr. Kevin McCarthy and the team at the Spine Center of Louisiana. Dr. McCarthy doesn't just treat symptoms. He gets to the root of the problem. From advanced injection therapy to minimally invasive surgery, they've got the expertise to get you back in the game. With 5 locations across Louisiana, including right here in Baton Rouge.
You're listening to The Hunt Palmer Show, brought to you by Quirks, Cajun fried fish and shrimp.
Before we wrap up this hour, let me tell you about First American Bank and Trust, online at FABT.com. They've been at this for 116 years, y'all. Started up in 1910. They've grown to 25 locations throughout Southeast Louisiana. They are your community bank here in Southeast Louisiana. So stop on by. If you're looking for a commercial loan, looking for a personal loan, just looking for a bank that makes you feel valued, First American Bank and Trust will do that. You may have a national bank right now, and you may think, well, that's the best place for me to get a loan because they've got the resources to help me out. First American Bank and Trust has 25 locations. They've got the resources commercially and personally to make sure you're taken care of, and every decision that is made on those loans is made in Southeast Louisiana. You pick up the phone and call First American Bank and Trust, you get Southeast Louisiana. Not a call center in Atlanta, nobody in Chicago or San Francisco, right here in Southeast Louisiana. It's First American Bank and Trust, 25 locations, 116 years. It's First American Bank and Trust. All right, today was Donuts with Dad at the kiddos' school.
Okay.
So they did some Q&A with the kids and put them up on the walls. So let's see how we think about these answers from the Myers man about his dad. My dad's job is... Now, here's some other answers from his class. Draw buildings on his computer, make calls on his headphones, writing and drawing words, a contractor, the police, building a building. These are pretty important jobs these people have, obviously. What does Myers say Dad does for a job? Talk about baseball and football. Basketball gets no respect in this market. No respect. Hoops with Hunt. Myers obviously doesn't remember the first 2 months of his life where I was doing Hoops with Hunt.
How could he forget?
He forgot. Just baseball and football. Myers man says Dad's job is talk about baseball and football. My dad always says, now here's a couple of answers. Says, I love mommy. That was one. I love you was another. I love you so, so much. I love you. I love you, mi amor. This is some of the answers from his class.
Oh, I'm like, you speaking Spanish?
No, what does Myers say Dad always says? Go Tigers.
Okay.
That's what Dad says is go Tigers. He does have a point there, and that's better than...
He's 2 for 2
That's better than Wesley in his class, who says, my dad always says, John Michael, get off the toilet.
Okay.
And one that says, go to sleep, Eleanor. Okay. So that's, go Tigers. So you got that going for you.
He's 2 for 2.
My dad's favorite place.
Okay.
Couple of people in his class. Girl put restaurants with queso, chips and queso with mom.
He's a vibe.
Superior Bar and Grill.
Okay.
Chick-fil-A. The Camp. These are favorite places of some guys, some dads in Myers' class. What does Myers say Dad's favorite place is?
The box?
Work. Work. That says 2 things. 1, I am excited to go to the box. That is good when Dad goes to work there. 2, we don't ever go out to eat, and I don't ever go play golf. And so, I think most of the time I leave the house, it's for work.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of what the Myers man is. So what do we feel? How do we feel he answered those questions?
Well, I'm gonna be honest. He went 4 for 4, honestly. Like, and at the same time, it really just shows me kids pay so much attention.
Yeah,
they pay so much attention. The fact that he was spot on with, I mean, you do talk about football and baseball.
I do.
That was spot on.
That's something that happens. But basketball, once again, just the stepchild in this market. Not a mention of basketball.
Well, it's gonna change. This the tide that's gonna change it right now.
We need some players for that to change. I'm a little concerned.
Eligibility.
They picked up one yesterday. He doesn't even have a recruiting profile.
All right, that's a problem.
But he did say, Will Wade did say, like, we're going to pay like 7 or 8 guys, and then we'll fill out the rest of the roster somewhere. I guess that comes from a kid that just didn't go anywhere else. So you took him here. That's interesting from the Myers man. Donuts with that. Myers man they were smaller, had 2.5 donuts. Keller with the 1.5 donuts for a 15-month-old. And by the way, he's about to start walking, which is going to be a whole new ball.
Oh, yeah, no. So, yeah, you got a whole
lots going
house,
on in the Palmer house.
Whole house rumbling.
going to be chaos at the beach in 2 weeks. But good chaos, I suppose. That's it for a first hour here on this Friday. We're brought to you by Cork's Cajun Fried Fish and Shrimp. You got some dads coming over to the house, don't want to cook on Sunday. Cork's is happy to handle all of your catering needs. Just let them know. You want those big trays of this crispy fried catfish, jumbo Gulf shrimp, the shoestring fries. They got it all. So check out the menu, corksfishandshrimp.com. Missed any of the first hour? Catch it on demand. We talk recruiting with Preston Guy. You can find that at Hunt on LSU. Tigers kept a left-handed pitcher out of the Major League Baseball draft. I filled you in on that at the top of the show. Also chatted about the College World Series final. I got North Carolina. Surprise, surprise. We got a lot to do in hour number 2 as well. Summer baseball update from LSU. Joe Burrow had a lot of things to say. Maybe an update from Shinnecock as well. Pause after Sports Center. Next.
The Hunt Palmer Show.
GoTro's Outdoor Power. GoTro's Outdoor Power. They're online at GoTrosOnline.com. I've been telling you all week, and this is the last time I'm going to be able to tell you because the deals end tomorrow. Amazing deals on their Hustler Raptor series. Now, these don't end tomorrow, but they're coming to a close at the end of the month. On the Raptor series, $200 off. On the Fast Track series, $500 off. Those commercial mowers from Hustler, up to $1,500 off. And if you go today or tomorrow, they're open until noon tomorrow, you can get no sales tax on the in-stock options. So go by and see them. Airline Highway in Baton Rouge or down in Gonzales. It's GoTro's Outdoor Power. You need that new zero turn. It's Father's Day week. Get incredible savings and no sales tax with the in-stock items. It's all right there. Airline Highway in Baton Rouge and in Gonzales. That's GoTro's Outdoor Power. GoTro's Outdoor Power online at GoTrosOnline.com.
I'm lawyer Collins Locke Meredith. Among the most important factors to consider when you're hiring an injury attorney is trust. You trust your attorney will put your interest first, treat you with respect, fairness, and honesty. You trust them to be there for you when you need them. At Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates, thousands of clients have trusted us to represent them, and for good reasons. Please visit us at LockeMeredith.com to learn more, and whether you hire us at all, give us a call at 272-5555. You have nothing to lose.
Box combo for George. I see you, Luis. Food's on the way.
Please don't. Hey, you know you can use your hands, right?
Got those box combos for you. Raising Cane's chicken fingers. One love.
Parrish Construction and Roofing. Trusted by champions, built for Louisiana.
Do business with someone you know. Parrish Construction and Roofing.
Parrish Construction and Roofing. ParrishBuilt.com.
Bayou Ford is taking $12,000 off MSRP on the new 2026 Ford F-150 trucks, plus the complimentary 7-year powertrain warranty that comes with all new Bayou Automotive vehicles. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
My father, J.B. Falgu, had a vision of growth for First American Bank and the communities we serve. The bank's foundation was built on his legacy of compassion, loyalty, and dedication. Through his years of leadership, First American has prospered to heights even J.B. could not have imagined. I know my father would be extremely proud of the customer service and financial stability that First American provides to Southeast Louisiana. We continue to thrive because of the legacy of J.B. Falgu.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. Look, back pain can sideline you from the things you love. That's why I trust Dr. Kevin McCarthy and the team at the Spine Center of Louisiana. Dr. McCarthy doesn't just treat symptoms. He gets to the root of the problem. From advanced injection therapy to minimally invasive surgery, they've got the expertise to get you back in the game. With 5 locations across Louisiana, including right here in Baton Rouge, quality care is close to home. Call the Spine Center of Louisiana or visit spinela.com and tell them Matt sent you.
As a business owner, you're always focused on how you can improve the bottom line. Well, when was the last time you shopped your insurance coverage? Insurance Network of Louisiana can help. If you're a business owner, let my friends at Insurance Network of Louisiana see if they can find you better coverage for less money. They always offer exceptional customer service and partner with only the best providers. So check them out online today
at lainsurance.net.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Ed Benkin. The U.S. soccer team is about to play its second World Cup game of the tournament. They are just seconds away from getting underway against Australia in Seattle. The Americans will try to win without Christian Pulisic. He is out due to a calf injury. Later in Foxborough, Scotland versus Morocco. In Philadelphia, Brazil plays Haiti. And in Santa Clara, it's Turkey against Paraguay. At the U.S. Open through round 2, Wyndham Clark is in the clubhouse at 7 under. He has a 4-stroke lead. Xander Schauffele and Matt Fitzpatrick are tied for second at 3 under. In basketball, the offseason is underway, and one of the big questions is what will happen with Giannis. ESPN's Emma Golden says a trade involving Jaylen Brown may not work out for Brown.
If that trade does go down, it's only a good trade for Boston. Because, I mean, what does Brown have out in Milwaukee? You know what I'm saying? They're a lottery team.
The NBA draft will take place next week. In hockey, there has been a sign and trade between 2 Atlantic Division teams. The Lightning have sent defenseman Darren Radish to Toronto in exchange for a 5th-round pick. In baseball tonight, the Twins have the major's current longest winning streak at 4. They'll go for 5-0 against Arizona.
Hey, it's Michelle Smallman, and coming up Monday, how should the Lakers approach their offseason? We asked one of their biggest fans, Ice Cube, when he joins us at 9:30 a.m. Eastern. It's Unsportsmanlike, 6 a.m. Eastern, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
Now, The Hunt Palmer Show.
Waiting to rise again.
You're listening to The Hunt Palmer Show. Brought to you by Quirks, Cajun fried fish and shrimp on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
This is the moment you've all been waiting for.
Locking down the middle of the day. Live from the Raising Cane studio. This is Hunt Palmer.
Hour 2, Friday edition of the Hunt Palmer Show. Brought to you by Cork's Cajun Fried Fish and Shrimp, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. Last hour of the week for us here. We will get you to the finish line one way or another. I hope that work week's in the rearview mirror. If not, hang in there with us. We will get you there. Father's Day weekend coming up. Looking forward to watching a lot of baseball and golf over the course of the weekend. Hope you are doing something you enjoy with family and friends. We're going to talk about Joe Burrow here in 15 minutes, plus a little look at the U.S. Open in half an hour. But right now, just some thoughts on LSU baseball in summer league action early on in this summer. These sample sizes are very, very small. None of things that I am going to tell you here over the next 15 minutes are massively important or massively impactful. They're not huge storylines. Just a quick catch up on kind of what things are going on with some of the LSU Tigers, and some of it's a little bit jarring, candidly, but it's very, very small sample sizes. If these guys had done this at any point during a regular season, it would be just a blip on a radar. For some, it's 2 games. For some, it's 5 games. For some, it's 15 at bats. It's just there's not a lot there, but I just wanted to go into it a little bit. And I'll tell you this before we get into the statistics. This is a personal problem of mine professionally. It doesn't really impact you at all. But the Cape Cod League is the premier summer baseball league in our country. It's got the best players that are playing summer ball. It's got a ton of scouts. It's in a beautiful climate and setting. They've got a tremendous history there with great infrastructure of host families and kids who go there to get broadcasting experience and social media stuff, and the players love to be there. It is awesome on so many levels, speaking of someone who's never been there. But they cannot keep statistics at all. They're terrible at it. The team websites are a joke. I'm trying to cross-reference with Baseball Reference. It's difficult. I could not testify under oath that any of these are exactly correct or up to date. But I'm going to give you what I found on the internet and just speak to what I'm looking at here with the understanding that there could be a flaw here or there. For example, I put in my story at LouisianaSports.net that Omar Cerna was playing with Yarmouth Dennis, the Red Sox there, and he was 1 for 5 with a homer. And it turns out that Omar Cerna is not 1 for 5 with a homer. Mateo Cerna, who plays for a different school and a different Cape team and just happens to share a last name with him, did hit a homer, and they screwed it up on the website. So there's a lot of issues with the Cape Cod League, statistically speaking. It drives me insane. That's a personal problem with my job. I would like to be able to keep y'all up to date very simply with how guys are performing in the summer because I think that's relevant to some of you. but it's hard to do when they are so bad at keeping stats and the best players on the team go play there. It's a problem. But here's what I got from LSU in summer ball through a couple of weeks. Reagan Ricken is going to make 3 starts in Cape Cod. I think that's great for him. It's going to be 3 starts. You're talking about probably about 9 innings, and then he's going to come back to Baton Rouge and work with the staff in that way. But he does want to get out there, face some live hitters, face some of the better hitters in the country that are playing summer ball, face guys with wood bats, get there in front of scouts. It's just a good thing to go do. You don't have to go throw 30 innings on the Cape, but if you want to go there and throw 9 or 10, I think that's a good thing. And he's off to a good start. He got 1 start, pitched 3 innings, gave up 4 hits and a run, 4 strikeouts and 1 walk. We know that Ricken had some issues with control, so for him to only issue the 1 walk is good. 4 strikeouts were great. I saw some video of it on Twitter. He looks good. I'm a Reagan Ricken fan. Y'all know that about me. If you've listened to the postseason coverage of me talking about this LSU program moving forward, I like how smooth his delivery is. I like the life on his fastball. I like the shape of his breaking ball. I think he can be an impactful pitcher at LSU, and he's off to a nice start there on Cape Cod. I'll see how the next 2 outings go, but that was a good one for him. You've also got on the pitching side 2 guys who I don't know that will be back with LSU next year. It's Santiago Garcia and Gavin Guidry. They are on the Cape to catch scouts' eyes. That's what they're there to do this summer. Santiago Garcia is off to a nice start, 2 1/3, 1 hit, no runs. Does have 3 walks issued. He's gotten 7 outs and 3 walks, but 4 outs, a strikeout. So done a nice job. He's trying to move on to professional baseball. That's his plan. Gavin Guidry, same thing for him. He sat in this studio and talked about that with Matt. He's been at LSU since 2023, so that's 23, 24, 25, 26. I don't anticipate that he wants to play a 5th year of college baseball, but he's going to have to get drafted to move on or sign an undrafted free agent deal. And he didn't have a great year this past year. And then in 3 1/3 innings this year on the Cape, 5 hits, 4 runs, 3 earned runs, 3 strikeouts, a home run allowed, 2 hit batsmen. So it has not been a great start for Gavin Guidry after a bumpy junior season, I guess you would say, here in Baton Rouge. So he's trying to get out in front of scouts, but hasn't been awesome thus far. Now you've got transfers to LSU that are playing on the Cape. I am going to monitor these guys all summer long as well. Dawson Park is playing for Catuit there. He is 2 for 10, but he does have 3 walks. He scored twice, driven in 2 runs and 4 walks, but hitting 200 with a couple of walks. It's 10 at-bats. You're talking about 3 or 4 games here, so not a huge sample size, but I'm glad Dawson Park is playing on the Cape. He needs to see really good pitching. He needs to see pitching that you will see on the Cape as opposed to each and every game there at Texas State. I think it's a good thing that he's playing on Cape Cod, so I'll continue to keep an eye on him. Bino Waters has played in 2 games there. He's 1 for 4, but he's got 4 walks in 2 games, so he's gotten on base 5 times over the course of 2 games, only struck out once, and he scored 3 times, so good to see Bino Waters on the Cape. He'll swing it from the left side up there for Chatham. Jason Wax is also on the Cape. He's the Tulane transfer that LSU's gotten. Not a great start for Jason Wax on Cape Cod thus far. 0 for 15. He's got an RBI, 7 strikeouts, 1 walk. Again, it's 15 at-bats. That's akin to a weekend. It would be like a bad weekend. So I'm not concerned that Jason Wax is completely overmatched against SEC pitching because he's off to a bad start on the Cape. I think he'll get more at-bats, and I'll continue to monitor. But he's obviously off to a tough start with 0 for 15 with 7 strikeouts for Jason Wax. That's got to improve. He did a great job getting on base at Tulane. He did a great job hitting against the better teams that Tulane played. It's not like he can't handle velocity. Grant Fontenot threw him a 97-mile-an-hour fastball, and he ripped it out of the park at the box. It's just a bad start for Jason Wax there on the Cape. Now, 2 guys that I think a lot of you are monitoring a little bit here or would appreciate an update on are William Patrick and Jack Ruckert. They're out west in the Pacific Empire League with the Healdsburg Prune Packers, of course. William Patrick is 8 for 24. That's a .333 batting average for William Patrick early on. He's also drawn 6 walks. So you're looking at a .452 on-base percentage for William Patrick. He's stolen a couple of bases. He's got 6 strikeouts and 6 walks thus far for Healdsburg. So it's just important for him to get at bats. It's important for Jack Ruckert to get in bats as well. And they're getting a lot of them. Jack Ruckert is on William Patrick's team there out west. Ruckert is off to a good start. 9 for 28. He had 2 multi-hit games this week. He's hitting .321, but he's got 10 walks. So his on-base percentage thus far is .512 there out west. I'm a little concerned with the amount of walks that Patrick and Ruckert are drawing. That tells me probably a little bit more about the competition level as opposed to what they've done thus far. But it's been a good start statistically for those guys, as Ruckert is getting on base at a 5.12 clip. He's got 9 runs driven in and a double to go with that 321 batting average. I'll tell you that William Patrick is playing a lot of center field, and that Jack Ruckert this week played a lot of second base. He has played some shortstop, but he's played a lot of second base, and I think he needs to just continue to get work at all those places. He right now feels like your swing infielder. I think Jack Ruckert can play shortstop and second. I think he can probably play third, although I think John Pearson is more likely the third baseman. So it's a good summer for him to get at bats, which he needs badly, to play some different places on the infield, which I'm sure that he will. And so it's early. I'm not really going to draw sweeping conclusions from any of this. If Patrick and/or Ruckert hit 368 for the summer, I will call that a big deal. If Bino Waters, if Jason Wax goes out there and hits $1.20 on the Cape, I'll think that's a rough summer. I'm not going to draw a lot of conclusions based on 1 week, and this is a lot of 1 week action. So wanted to pass all that along. I'll keep up with it every single Friday at LouisianaSports.net. That's going to kind of be my weekly piece over the next few weeks. A lot of these guys will play for a couple weeks and come home. It's not standard procedure for college players to play the entire summer anymore. You want to go get some ABs. It's important to get in front of scouts. It's important to play against good players, and then you'll come home at some point. Everybody's got a different plan. LSU takes this stuff very, very seriously. The days of going out there and playing 60 games are largely over. Not for everybody. For some guys you will, especially if you didn't play a lot as a freshman, and that may be the case for Ruckert and Patrick, but that's where they are right now. So I wanted to give you all an update on the Summer League baseball statistics. We'll move forward. Let's talk a little bit about what Joe Burrow had to say. It brought back some memories. We'll talk about that next.
The Hunt Palmer Show.
Marucci. Go check him out at Marucci. The Hitter's House is such a great, great spot there. Become a member. If you've got a youth baseball player in your house, become a member. Got a youth softball player in your house, become a member. What does that get you? Well, key card access to their facility at the Hitter's House 24/7. So you can go in and get some cuts if it's raining. You can go in and get some cuts if it's 100 degrees outside. You can go in and get some cuts if it's dark outside after dinner. It's open all the time if you're a member. So if your youth baseball or softball player wants to get some swings in, wants to work on pitching, and you don't have a spot for that at home, or you're not on a team currently because the spring season is over, the Hitter's House is always open. So become a member over there at Marucci. You can check them out online at MarucciSports.com. And join the Hitter's House, where you can get key card access to their facility 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. That's all courtesy of my friends at Marucci.
When it comes to choosing energy for your family and your home, make the smart choice with natural gas. You can count on efficient and affordable natural gas to keep you comfortable and reduce your environmental impact to help protect our planet. Together, we're fueling our energy future. Atmos Energy.
Eagle 98.1, the rock station. Home of The Woody Show in the morning. Scotty Mack with Rock at Work. Michelle Southern with Southern Rock. Home of LSU sports since 1998. And rock for Baton Rouge since 1985. Take us anywhere with the Eagle 98.1 app. To join our VIP fan club, text ROCK to 225-499-9898. Eagle 98.1, the rock station.
I've been in banking for over 35 years. I usually start about 7:30 in the morning, and I usually leave somewhere around 5, or if customers need me to meet them at their house or their business places, I don't mind going after hours. I have done churches, subdivisions, retail centers, hospitals, and nursing homes. And that's why we chose to live in this community, because of the values First American Bank has, that I can serve my community and my customers.
After a decade of working in private duty nursing, I know how hard it can be to find compassionate care for the ones that you love the most. So I started Decision Critical, a premier concierge nursing agency, so we can take care of you wherever you are. Our highly skilled nurses provide exceptional care from the comfort of your own home with personalized packages for short-term, long-term, or even around-the-clock care. Visit us at decisioncriticalbr.com and give us a call today to get started.
Sometimes you ignore the signs, even when they're right in front of you. Problem gambling isn't always easy to spot. Know the signs. Set your limit. Learn more about healthy gambling habits by visiting us online or text or call for free confidential help now.
I'm lawyer Collins Locke Meredith. Among the most important factors to consider when you're hiring an injury attorney is trust. You trust your attorney will put your interest first, treat you with respect, fairness, and honesty. You trust them to be there for you when you need them. At Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates, thousands of clients have trusted us to represent them, and for good reasons.
This is the Hunt Palmer Show, brought to you by Quirks, Cajun fried fish and shrimp.
So whether you're an athlete or just trying to stay active, whatever stage of life you're in, Oxygen Rangers Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute can help get you moving and then keep you moving. You've got access to the highest level of specialized care, nationally renowned expertise, and the latest equipment and modern facilities. That includes a convenient walk-in orthopedic clinic at the Elite Training Complex at Burbank. If you need care fast, whether it's a sprain, strain, minor dislocation, sports injuries, you can walk in to the Elite Training Complex on Burbank. From the field to the recovery, Oxygen Rangers Institute is there to help move you into healing and get you back to what you love, whether that's being in the gym, whether that's playing high school sports, whether that's being an Asian athlete, or just playing with the grandkids. Learn more at oxford.org/brortho. That's oxford.org/brortho. Tough start for former Tiger Kevin Gausman today at Wrigley Field. The Cubs hung 7 in the first on my guy Kevin Gausman, who I covered day to day when I was covering the beat back in his playing days, 2011 and 2012, and has been an incredible big leaguer and will continue to be an incredible big leaguer. But today, not his day at the friendly confines. The Cubs hit a grand slam and scored 7 runs in the first inning off of Kevin Gausman today. So let's transition to a guy that is talking a little bit more positively, and that's Joe Burrow in Cincinnati. The Bengals wrapped up their mandatory minicamp earlier this week, and Burrow got to the podium, and he had some pretty powerful things to say. Now, keep in mind, Joe has been, last year at the end of the season, was a little bit introspective and, quite frankly, kind of a bummer at the podium. And this sounded completely different as the Bengals get ready for the 2026 season. This was Joe Burrow after mandatory minicamp.
I want everybody talking about the Bengals. I want everybody talking about what I'm saying in my press. You go back and watch what I said before 2019 season at LSU. I feel very similarly about this team. I'm so excited to get started and get moving. And I wish we would ramp this right into training camp so we can continue to improve. Because I feel like there's so much greatness that we're going to be able to achieve this year. I'm just excited to get going.
You said the way that you talk.
That's interesting to me because I have heard Joe Burrow, as I just said, speak candidly in a pessimistic way about something's got to change. I'm not having fun. This is not a guy that just gets to the podium and just spews cliches and positivity all the time. He generally gives a pretty thoughtful answer to what you're looking for, and he's telling you that he feels great about this team. Now, keep in mind, because Joe Burrow started like a house on fire, we know. I mean, he played 10 games his rookie year and got hurt, and the Bengals weren't good, and they were able to draft Jamar Chase. But that next year, they went to the Super Bowl as a 10-6 team, and the next year they went 12-4 and were very much a threat and got beat in the playoffs by Mahomes. But they were, at that point, you're like, okay, with Burrow healthy in year 2 and year 3, you're talking about 22-10 and advancing in the playoffs and getting to a Super Bowl. They're going to be a problem for the NFL for a while. And since then, they have not been. Joe played in 10 games in 2023. They went 5-5, but he got hurt, and by the time he got back and they played well, they were a non-factor. And then he played 17 games in 2024. He led the NFL in completions. He led the NFL in passing yards. He led the NFL in touchdowns. He led the NFL in first downs. He led the NFL in yards per game. Played 17 games, and they went 9-8. And last year, he got hurt again. They were 5-3 in his 8 games. But Joe Burrow in the last 2 seasons is a quarterback who's amassed a 14-11 record. You extrapolate that out for 3 seasons, you're talking about a guy who is 19-16 as a starter and has missed 16 games over the last 3 seasons. Like, there's not a lot of greatness that's gone on in Cincinnati the last 3 years. And Zach Taylor still got a job, and they paid Joe Burrow, and they paid Jamar Chase, and they paid T. Higgins, but they haven't been great. And you looked up last year, and all of a sudden, Mahomes isn't in the playoffs, and Lamar Jackson's not in the playoffs. Josh Allen was, but neither were the Bengals. Like, that would have been a door opening. If you were pulling for the Bengals, if you're in my shoes, and you're an LSU fan, and most of y'all are LSU and Saints diehards, and I love that. But I think if I'm talking to you, the Sunday football watcher, most of you listening to the sound of my voice would prefer the Bengals win than lose. There are certainly going to be some of y'all that would suggest, I bleed black and gold. I don't give a rip about the Bengals. Thanks, Joe, for being the national championship quarterback and winning the Heisman. That rocked. I don't care about the Bengals. And that's great. I love that. I feel that way in Major League Baseball. I'm thrilled the Cubs lit Kevin Gausman up today. Thrilled about it. When Skeens pitches against the Cubs, I want 13 runs. I have my allegiance. I like those guys. I hope they do well when they're not playing the Cubs. But I don't care if the Pirates win. I don't care if the Blue Jays win. I didn't care about Bregman in Houston. I do now. He's the Cubs. But, I get it. And some of you Saints fans are like that. But there are also plenty of Saints fans that go, yeah, I'm locked in on the Saints at noon, but the Bengals are playing at 3, and I hope they win. I'll turn that on. And I think most of you thought, okay, this is going to be the start of something really, really fun, and it just hasn't been the last couple of years. But I don't know that Joe is one to blow smoke. And so when I hear him say that, if he can stay healthy, maybe they're good. Because it was a bummer last year to look at that AFC playoff bracket and go, man, this looks manageable. Like, Denver, are they that good? Like, you're scared of Josh Allen more often than not. But there is no Mahomes. It feels like they're over the hill. You thought that Mahomes was going to be a thorn in Burrow's side for 10 years. Maybe he's not anymore. I don't know if the Chiefs are going to be great this year. Who knows what's going on in Baltimore? They fired their coach. Pittsburgh's transitioned out. Like, what's the class of the AFC? I don't know. So you hope that the Bengals can do it, but the question is their defense good enough? Is their offensive line good enough? Because those haven't been good enough since they walked off the field against the Rams in the Super Bowl. They were good the next year, but not good enough. And now Joe's gotten hurt, and that franchise has kind of done what we as LSU fans feared under Joe. They've misallocated resources. They haven't put the proper infrastructure around him, and some of that's Joe's fault. Because the word on the street is that Joe went to the Bengals brass and said, I need Chase, I need Higgins. Make it happen. And everybody from the outside's going, you can't pay 2 receivers that. When your offensive line looks like that and your defense looks like that, you can't pay 2 wide receivers that and a quarterback that. And they have. So they'll have to prove a lot of people wrong. But I'll tell you this. I'm not going to bet against Joe Burrow at 30 years old. If he's hurt, I'll bet against the Bengals. But I'm not going to bet against Joe Burrow at 30 years old. I'm very hopeful that they can make things interesting this year. They finally last year got the 0-2 monkey off their back by winning the first 2 games of the season, and then he got hurt and they fell flat. But hopefully he can stay healthy. He can play 17 games. He can play to the level he did 2 years ago when he led the NFL in like 5 different passing categories, and they can play some semblance of defense and some semblance of a rushing attack. That would be nice. Myles Garrett's gone, thankfully. I still don't believe in Pittsburgh, even though they kept their head above water last year. Baltimore wasn't great last year. We'll see what that is. Like, that division doesn't look quite as scary as maybe it once did. I'm hopeful. I'd like it if the Bengals were good. Jordan, I'm curious your thoughts. Like, I know where you stand on the Saints. Are you one of the Saints fans that says, I don't give a rip about the Bengals? Or are you like, once the Saints are over, I'll keep an eye on and see what the Bengals are doing?
I'm always going to root for the LSU guys when they're not playing against the Saints. Yeah. So it doesn't even have to be the Bengals. Like anybody, outside of Harold Perkins now, that plays for the Falcons. But like everybody else, I'm pretty much rooting for. And I'm actually like follow them really close. I'm always making sure to see, what Jamar did. Yeah. Jefferson, fantasy football wise purposes too, also added to that. But I'm always rooting for LSU guys no matter what, unless they're playing the Saints. But I'm always looking. Well, I'll say it like this: for the AFC and the Bengals, they're gonna. I don't know what they're gonna do. Huh? I'm gonna just be honest with you. I don't know what they're gonna do. They already paid T. Higgins and Jamar. What more can they do? They try to trade for Dexter Lawrence, but that's not really gonna fix all the problems they have. So
defense is a problem.
Yeah, that's a problem. We know Jamar and Joe gonna show up. We know that. We know we can.
And Henderson moving on is not helping the defense
at all. And you replace him with Dexter Lawrence, a nose tackle. You replace an edge rusher with a nose tackle.
Yeah.
Maybe Shamar Stewart can become something. I'm out on him already. So it's like they're in trouble. But again, the division is coming down.
But right, and I'm listening to Joe, and when I hear him in December last year or whatever month that was, talk about how something's got to change because this is not fun, and I got to and then you hear him say this week, like, y'all heard me before 2019, like, watch out.
Yeah.
I take a note. I don't take it as gospel. I just take a note. It's like, okay, I hear you. Let's see. So let's hope they can get off to a decent start and
gotta be healthy.
And stay healthy, and maybe they can push things in the right direction. I would love it if the Saints and Bengals made the playoffs. I promise they won't play each other until something's really, really good happens. So
that's why I root for the Bengals, because you don't play them.
There you go. So that's a good thing. So we'll see. Joe's right there. Joe Burrow says, you heard me before 2019. You hear me now. We'll see how that all shakes out. We got 30 minutes to go. Don't go anywhere. It's the Hunt Palmer Show.
The Hunt Palmer Show.
Lifetime Roofing. LifetimeRoofingLA.com. LifetimeRoofingLA.com is that website. Look, it is storm season, and we just had the first name system come through. If you feel like that revealed an issue with your roof, call Lifetime Roofing. If you feel like, okay, I'm not sure if my roof is ready to handle a direct hit of a storm, then let them come inspect your roof. Maybe they tell you it's all good. Maybe they tell you, hey, it's a little bit older, but if we do a tune-up, we can fortify things and you'll be okay. Great. Maybe they'll tell you, hey, we do see an issue. Let's do a repair. Great. Maybe they say, yeah, you need a new roof. They can do that. Financing options are available, 0% for 18 months. And every single new roof that you get from the folks at Lifetime Roofing comes with that lifetime workmanship warranty. That backs the craftsmanship, obviously, as well as the materials that are backed by Certainty, which is one of the oldest and most respected names in building materials. Work with Lifetime Roofing. Lifetime workmanship warranty. Local company here in Baton Rouge. Growing team just off College Drive in an awesome facility. It's Lifetime Roofing. Check them out online at lifetimeroofingla.com.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one. You. Auctioner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Hi, this is Beth Serena. Welcome to my pool. The first time I saw this beautiful pool, it exceeded every expectation that I had. They were able to get everything we wanted in this pool. It is a beautiful pool. We live out here, we eat out here, we watch TV out here. This is like our living room outside. We love this pool and everything about it. When we decided to build our pool, we called a great friend who is one of the best pool builders in the country in North Louisiana, and we said, who would you choose to build a pool in Baton Rouge? And without a hesitation, he told us Russell Pools. He said their history, tradition of great builds, great pools was unmatched. So of course, who did we call? Russell Pools. The advice I would give to anyone looking to build a pool is first call Russell Pools. They'll do an incredible job. It'll be incredibly organized. It'll be time efficient, and you will have your pool in no time.
Bayou Ford is taking $12,000 off MSRP on the new 2026 Ford F-150 trucks, plus the complimentary 7-year powertrain warranty that comes with all new Bayou Automotive vehicles. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou Automotive is...
This is the Hunt Palmer Show, brought to you by Quirks, Cajun fried fish and shrimp.
Failure happens to us all, but it's how champions evolve. The only thing that matters from a loss is if you get back up when you fall. You gotta get up.
Stars and stripes. Strike first, thanks to Australia. For the second game in a row, the USA is beneficiary of an own goal early in the proceedings. So Australia booted one in the back of the the USA net on accident. And so it's 1-0. Good guys. We like that.
No, we're definitely like that. We're turned up right now, honestly. But you got to keep the foot on the gas. Got to keep your foot on the gas.
If they win, they're through, right?
No. We still got to play. I think.
I know they got to play another game, but I think if you win the first two, you're automatically going to make it through. You're just working for seeding at that point. Goal differential, which they won by 1 billion in the first game. So things look good for Team USA at the moment. They're playing up in Seattle at this juncture. I got my eye on the U.S. Open. Wyndham Clark fires another really impressive round today. He is 7 under, 4 clear of the field right now, but the leaderboard is absolutely loaded. You got Clark, as I mentioned, at 7 under, but behind him, Matt Fitzpatrick and Sanders Schauffele, both major champions, are there at 3 under, 4 back. They are both done for the day. Colin Morikawa, a 2-time major champion, is there at in tie for 4th at 2 under. Harry Higgs joins him there. The Big Rig got things moving in the right direction. He's through 9 holes today. Also at 2 under, Max Grazerman. And then you've got a group at 1 under par, which is led by Justin Thomas, Keegan Bradley, Rory McIlroy, Ludwig Oberg, Brian Harmon. Those are some big names there. Sam Burns, from a local perspective, shot 1 over yesterday. Shot 1 under yesterday and is even par through 4 holes. He is 1 over through 4 holes today. He's even par for the championship at tied for 14th there. So Sam in a very good spot. Here's the deal on the U.S. Open. Shinnecock is the course in the states that they can lose the most quickly. It is up on a hill and exposed to the Atlantic Ocean all the way around because it's on Long Island. So the wind blows a ton, and in June, the sun can bake it. So if they have that course tuned up to the standards of all the people that want carnage on the leaderboard on Thursday, by the time you get to Saturday, you have no golf course. And that's happened at Shinnecock. They've had to have guys come out there and water the greens between groups to try to keep dead grass functioning on the green. So there's no need to do that on Thursday. They will progressively tune this course up. It will get browner and browner. By the time you get to Sunday, you will not see this green grass. It will have gone to browner, especially around the greens. It will be firm. It will be fast. The wind will be blowing, and it's going to be very, very difficult. This is, when they want it to be, the most difficult golf course on the U.S. Open rotation. And it will play that way on the weekend when they're ready for it. But the way you make a course firm and fast is you don't water it and you cut it short. If you do that on Thursday and the wind blows and it doesn't rain, the golf course dies. Okay, so they're not going to do that on Thursday. So yes, Wyndham Clark is 7 under on the toughest course that we have, and everybody that wants the golf course to win is going, well, this is ridiculous. It's supposed to be hard. He's just tuning it up. Just watch. Wyndham Clark will not be 7 under when the proceedings end on Sunday evening. He will back up. And if he does, which I project he will, there are players right there to catch him. Fitzpatrick is a dog. Xander Schauffele is a dog. Colin Morikawa is a dog. Those guys are pure iron players. And they will ball strike this thing all day if they need to. Justin Thomas can play like that at times. Rory McIlroy and Ludwig Åberg can do that at times as well. There's some really good players right there in the rearview mirror of Wyndham Clark, and I'm really excited to watch this because this course is unlike any that we have in the U.S. Open rotation because of its setting and its bones. Like, I don't love, I got asked earlier, Musso asked me this in the hall. He goes, hey, are you a pull for the course guy? Do you want these guys to be fighting for their life on the golf course? And my answer to that question is, I don't think it's fun if you shrink the fairways down to a landing strip, grow the rough up 10 feet tall, bake the greens out so they're dead so that nobody can hit shots anywhere. I would not find that to be an interesting golf tournament to watch. I would find that to be ridiculous. I want them to have room to hit it in the fairway. I want them to have room to hit it on the green, and I want it to be penal if they miss their shots, the greens to be pretty quick, the wind to blow, and the winning score to be somewhere in the neighborhood of 1 over to 5 under. And I think that's what you're going to get here as the wind continues to blow. Making it so no one can hit good shots is stupid. And you can hit good shots. You can hit it on the fairway here. You can hit it on the greens. All the players said yesterday, it was really, really, really soft. It was really receptive. It's not going to be the case the entire weekend. So right now, I would not pick Wyndham Clark to win. I would probably pick Xander Schauffele to win. I think Matt Fitzpatrick is a great pick to win. I think those guys are going to be right in the mix of this thing. I selfishly, based on fantasy golf happenings, would like it if Russell Henley would get in the mix. But if you're concerned that Wyndham Clark shot 7 under, so he's going to go out there and shoot 14 under at Shinnecock, that ain't happening. He caught the best end of the draw last night. He got hot when they were playing golf when they weren't supposed to be playing because they had a fog delay in the morning, and that meant they had to play late into the night last night. The wind stopped blowing, and he lit it up for the last few holes last night. That's not going to be the case as the golf tournament moves forward. He's going to get into this wind, and it's going to be really, really difficult. I can't wait to watch. I think it's going to be great. I would love it if Sam Burns could put his foot on the gas and make a push at this thing, but I think you're going to see. Some carnage that you're looking for. I'm watching right now on the TV here in the studio, and I'm watching Harris English stand over a putt, and his shirt is whipping. That wind's going to be moving. I realize Wyndham Clark is not out there. Fitzpatrick's not out there. Schauffele's not out there. Clearly, the better time to play was late early on Thursday and Friday, and those guys are done, and the guys that got the tough wind draw yesterday are getting it again today, and that's going to make things difficult. But you're gonna get some guys that can really play like Åberg and McIlroy through this group, and they're going to be around. So it's going to be great to watch. It's going to be great theater, and I'm very excited to take a look at that as we progress through the weekend. So those are my thoughts on the U.S. Open. This is, I think, the best U.S. Open course that we have. It's the one that can put up the greatest fight, but they can't just bake out the golf course Wednesday night. It won't survive until Sunday. Just give them time to let it go, and if you're one of those that wants to settle in on Sunday and watch some really hard golf, it'll get there. Just wait. Doesn't have to look like Chambers Bay or the ridiculous Shinnecock that we've seen in years past. It can progress toward that on Sunday, and I think that's what we're going to see. So it's going to be a good weekend of golf at the U.S. Open, and hopefully it's a good afternoon here for Team USA when it comes to soccer as they take a 1-0 lead. We talked about the College World Series a little bit earlier on. For those that missed it and are like, well, what did Hunt say? I decided to go with North Carolina. I'm going to doubt Oklahoma all the way to the finish line. That's my story, and I'm going to stick to it. And it may be completely wrong. Are you anxious about my selection of North Carolina?
No, I'm happy you're actually going against Oklahoma because you got to stand on it. You got to stand on it. I'm very
Everyone's
proud.
bailing. Everyone's going, well, I've been picking against them. I'm going back.
Exactly. No. I respect that. I respect the man that's able to stand on it. Like, nah, you been said there wasn't good, and they caught fire. You got it. Now you're like, you know what? Even though everybody's saying all this, nah, I ain't going nowhere. They still not going to win. I still not a believer. I respect it. Go down with the ship.
We'll see. Speaking of baseball, last thing, and then we'll take a break and get to our final segment of the day. I am told by my friends in Fayetteville that Thomas Allen is expected to visit Arkansas this weekend. He is the right-handed pitcher from Louisiana Tech. He is a Benton, Louisiana native. That's just just outside of Bossier. So that's it is north of Bossier. That's where he's going to be this weekend. Allen is a guy that LSU has expressed interest in. They are angling for a visit from him. Mississippi State's involved. Arkansas is involved. Texas is involved. Tennessee is involved. He's got a fastball up to 97 miles an hour. Good breaking ball. Had a great freshman season. 6'2", 185, and would be a nice right-handed addition to LSU's bullpen should they make that happen. At this point, they're going to have to fight off some other SEC teams and potentially teams that have a few more funds remaining. Not that LSU was broke this year in the portal. They've expended a lot on the guys they've brought in out of the transfer portal. But Allen is a really good prospect that they would like to bring in as a bullpen option. He, based on what I'm being told from Fayetteville, has a chance to be in their weekend rotation next year because Arkansas is replacing their weekend rotation. So that's something to watch. I'll have updates on that throughout the weekend at LouisianaSports.net. But Thomas Allen's a guy that LSU baseball would like to get in the boat. He's got a lot of SEC interest, and Arkansas is getting their swing at him come this weekend. So we'll see if that comes fruition up on the hill for the Hogs, or if LSU is able to get a visit from him and pull him in as a Louisiana native. Just something that we'll keep an eye on. Also, a left-handed pitcher that LSU is involved with this weekend. So Tigers are not done, but I anticipate very little on the offensive side of things moving forward from the portal. I think they will concentrate their efforts on the pitching side of things and trying to fortify that bullpen. And Thomas Allen's a guy that you can look for, as well as a potential left-handed arm for LSU in the portal. So just a bow on that for this Friday. We'll come back and close out the show next.
The Hunt Palmer Show.
Boudreaux's Electrical Services, BoudreauxElectrical.com. That's BoudreauxElectrical.com. Neil and Melissa have been running the show for 40 years at Boudreaux's Electrical Services. They are the local option for that Generac home standby generator. If you want to give yourself the peace of mind of knowing that you're not going to lose power, Boudreaux's Electrical Services can help you out. You can buy from the big box store. I tell you that almost every day. You can get that Generac home standby generator from one of the big national chains. Do you ever hear from them again after the installation? What if there's an issue and you're not even aware of it? That mechanical malfunction may not hit your radar until you need your generator to come on and it doesn't, and you're sitting there in the dark in a hot house. That's not going to happen at Boudreaux's Electrical because they monitor your generator 24/7, and if there is a mechanical issue, they send a local team out to repair it so that when the hurricane comes through, when that afternoon thunder shower comes through, when we got that winter storm like we did this past year, you're not going to lose power. A lot of folks did this week when we had our first name system come through. Don't let that happen again. Call Boudreaux's Electrical at 985-397-1562. That's 985-397-1562. The Gonzales location, we'll take your call as well, at 225-300-9389. It's Boudreaux's Electrical Services, online at BoudreauxElectrical.com.
Sometimes you ignore the signs, even when they're right in front of you. Problem gambling isn't always easy to spot. Know the signs, set your limit. Learn more about healthy gambling habits by visiting us online or text or call for free, confidential help now.
My name is Mike Krumholt, and I've been with First American Bank for 4 years.
What makes First American Bank special is we're able to offer all the products and services that any other big bank can offer. What sets us apart is being able to give that small town feel that someone can pick up the phone and they can talk to someone or stop by the branch and get excellent customer service.
The experts at Hood Dental Care want you smiling bigger and healthier than ever. New patients can get a healthy gums cleaning for just $89, plus a free exam and full mouth x-rays. A $376 value. With over 3,000 five-star Google reviews, 5 local locations, and easy online scheduling with same-day care. Hood Dental makes it simple to get started. And we always have other great giveaways for new patients. Check out hooddentalcare.com and schedule your appointment today.
Hi, I'm Mitchell Meredith. At Locke Meredith Sean Fagan & Associates, we know each case and client are unique, and that no two cases are the same. But one thing remains constant, and that is our passion to help our clients. After an accident, we know your life has changed, which is why we passionately fight to make you and your family whole. Remember, whether you hire us at all, give us a call at 272-5555. We're here to serve you.
You're listening to The Hunt Palmer Show, brought to you by Quirks, Cajun fried fish and shrimp.
Closing up shop here on a Friday edition of the Hunt Palmer Show. I want to take just a minute here and wish everybody out there who it applies to a happy Father's Day. Should be an awesome weekend. I'm looking forward to it with my my 2 kiddos. Going to celebrate with my wife's dad on the North Shore on Sunday. Looking forward to that as well. Should be an awesome weekend. Hope you get to spend it with friends and family. And to all the dads out there, a happy Father's Day. Hope it is everything you want it to be, whether that's a lot of nothing or a lot of something. Just do it the way that you would like to. I'm very much looking forward to it. So happy Father's Day to all the dads out there. Jordan, give me an update from Seattle. We got things are happening, I'm told.
Things are happening. America's up 2-0 after a header that was called off for offsides. Okay. Reviewed it. Wasn't offside. So 2-0 America right now. About to be halftime.
Gotta love the video replay. Oh, look, and then meanwhile, speaking of the home team, Sam Burns stuffing it in there for a potential birdie there for the Shreveport kid to move him under par at the U.S. Open. Oh, they go right to it. So we'll get a look and see if Sam cashes that in. I'm assuming since they're showing it, he did. It probably happened. Probably happened previously, and he did. So Sam Burns moves to 1 under, very much in the mix. Look, Sam has the game to get it done at places like this. He's so solid. He's such a great putter. The problem with Sam can be his short game, and that's a big problem if it does come to that. But he's got all the game to be a major champion. He just hasn't gotten into the mix a lot. So hopefully he's able to do that this weekend. He's 1 under. Wyndham Clark is at 7, but I think Wyndham Clark's coming back once they tune this golf course up over the weekend. So we'll keep posted, and I would love it if Sam could make a charge on the weekend on Sunday. All right, one more order of business. We got to take it or leave it.
Take it or leave it.
Take it or leave it.
Today's hottest stories in sports, news, and sometimes even Hunt's life. The question is, will he take them or leave them?
All right, Hunt, this one's a little weird going on. So the rest of the world is kind of uncertain about the actual age of Sauce Gardner. So Sauce comes out this week to make it known that he's actually 24 years old, not 25, as multiple outlets have had his birth year incorrect all this time. So actually, he's born August 31st, 2001, and all this time he was listed that he was born in 2000. So letting the world know that they got your age wrong, take it or leave it?
Well, if we got it wrong, then take it. Obviously, we got a birth certificate here. This is a guy from America, right?
Yes, from America. So, I mean, Ahmad Gardner from Detroit, Michigan. Yeah.
Yeah. So let's just pull the birth certificate. Don't we have that? This is not.
I know.
This is not the kids from the Bronx in the World Series where we didn't have anything. Got Danny Almonte slinging it around. We don't have any problems like the Cubans, like, let's get the birth certificate out and figure this out. This is not a difficult thing to do.
I'm still shocked by you. I cannot believe that this is an actual story going on. And the fact that it took them all this time to come out and let everybody know that your age was wrong and you're actually a year younger than what you are. So whatever with Sauce Gardner. So Detroit Lions running back Jahmyr Gibbs is switching up his preparation for his 4th NFL season. Speaking to ESPN's Eric Woodyard, Gibbs revealed he's added mixed martial arts training with legendary coach Rafael Cordero to his off-season workouts. So Cordero, who has previously trained with Mike Tyson, Anderson Silva, and Chris Cyborg. So is Jahmyr Gibbs going to be the #1 pick in fantasy football this year? Take it or leave it. Yeah, little twist.
Leave it.
Leave it. Okay, what you got?
Give me some kind of Jackson Smith and Jigba or something. Somebody's going to have 1,800 receiving yards and 14 touchdowns.
Little Puka action?
Something like that. Yeah, look, I think martial arts is an awesome thing to do if you're in the NFL. Balance control, strength, all that kind of stuff that comes with it.
Most definitely.
You don't want to see me doing any of that, but if you're trying to break tackles of NFL linebackers, I think that's probably a pretty good idea. So I'm in on that. That's good.
I'm in on that. And
Jahmyr Gibbs is one of the smoothest runners I've ever seen in my life. That guy glides on air.
And it's crazy because he had that 1 year at Alabama that kind of just gets washed by the wayside.
He went to Georgia Tech.
Yeah.
What was he doing?
I think he's from Georgia, matter of fact.
So go somewhere else. Don't go to Georgia Tech.
Hey, but that's how you know. That's the beauty of the portal. Like, guys will go to a little school like that and get picked up by Alabama. You know, just Jahmyr Gibbs, one of the fastest guys in the NFL. So the mother of Cape Verde. So a couple days ago, I talked about the goalie that was 40 years old that had this breakout game in the World Cup for Cape Verde. When they held Spain to 0-0. So so his mother never had opportunity to watch. So the U.S. Democratic leader Hakeem Jeffries announced that the United States is granting her a one-time visa to see him come play this Sunday against Uruguay. So the sports bringing people together. Take it or leave it.
I'll take it. That's good. I didn't love the fact that Iran couldn't get their coach here or something?
No, well, they're I don't know what's going on with them, but like, so I
don't follow the World Cup. I don't know what's going on here, and I don't follow politics either, so I don't know what's going on there. I'm aware of their situation in Iran that but I feel like if we're playing in the World Cup, we should probably let the coach come. That's just me with no information on the actual war and the agreement to end it and no information on the World Cup. 100%. I have no information on the politics or the actual games that are going on. Just me from the peanut gallery way up in the top going, if they're in the tournament, the coach should probably be with the team.
You know,
we can put a cop with him if we need to. If we got some sort of homeland security issue, just put some cops over there. But let the guy coach the team. Unless he's actually a terrorist, then I think we can probably coach the soccer team. That's where I am.
Yeah. So look, what they got going on with Iran, they have to fly. So they can't stay in America. They're playing in Los Angeles, right? They have to keep flying to and from Mexico. So after the game, they fly out of the country to Mexico. That's where they're stationed. They can't be in the country right now. So that's what's going on.
That's fine. Just let the coach come. I don't know. Again, it's a tough spot because
tough spot.
Here's the deal. When Jay Johnson picks Paul Skeens to pitch against Tulane in the regional, I feel like I've got the authority to speak on that decision.
Yeah.
I don't know what the hell is going on with Iran and their soccer team and who can be in America and who can't.
Yeah.
It just feels like if they're in the tournament, we should
keep it together a little bit.
Just get them in a hotel, put the police around them. I don't know. But maybe not. I don't know. I don't have the information.
Yeah, well, you know what? That's it for taking or leave it.
Yeah, we can leave the
Happy
Iran
Father's
talk
Day, everybody.
there. Yeah, happy Father's Day to everybody out there. Been a dry month of June thus far for me. I hadn't had a cocktail since the Sunday of Memorial Day weekend. So it's before the selection show. It sounds like I'm not allowed to go tonight's date night without a cocktail. My wife told me that I had to eat unhealthy foods and have a drink because if I didn't, it would ruin her night. So I guess I'll have to.
I love that.
I guess I'll have to jump off the old wagon here for a bit.
No more shrimp salads. Go get you some, man. Finally.
The worst. Diet's just
no more kale.
I'm really good at dieting and I hate it. But we're in a decent spot, so we'll go ahead and eat something unhealthy and have a cocktail, maybe just one cocktail. Now look, here's the deal. I'm going to the beach next Saturday in 8 days.
Okay.
There will be no dieting in the beach.
Should never be.
There will be no abstaining from alcohol at the beach whatsoever. But we've had a good run here of 4 weeks. I guess we'll let things loose a little bit this evening.
Friday. Come on now. It's Father's Day weekend.
She's like, you're not going to diet at the restaurant.
No.
I was like, well, I was thinking about it. I haven't seen what my goal weight is. She's like, and you're not drinking. Like, that's going to ruin my night if you do that. Well, that's nice. I appreciate you saying that. I'll go ahead and have a cocktail then. So we're looking forward to that. Hopefully all the dads have a great weekend as well. If you missed any of our show today, feel free to catch it on demand wherever you find your sound. I opened the show with the left-handed pitcher that LSU is getting through the Major League Baseball draft. Braxton Beatty says he is not going to be drafted. He'll be at LSU. I gave a scouting report on him. Preston Guy from TigerBait.com joined us to talk about the entire recruiting weekend. LSU's got a 5-star on campus, got a couple of potential flips on campus. He broke that down for us at 1:15. You can find that wherever you find your sound at Hunt on LSU. My pick for the College World Series final, I got the Sooners losing. Give me UNC, and we'll talk about that on Monday. A summer baseball update for the LSU players at Cape Cod and out west. Joe Burrow talking confidently. I gave you my pick on that as well. Go back and catch the show if you missed it. We're brought to you by Cork's Cajun Fried Fish and Shrimp. Matt's going to drive you home next on After Further Review. We're back on Monday, same time, same place. Hunt Palmer Show.
The Hunt Palmer Show.
Fabry Chevrolet GMC. They're online at fabrychevrolet.com. I've been telling you all the last couple of weeks, I love navigating the website at Fabry Chevrolet GMC. I'm not in the market for a vehicle today, but the wife and I had a conversation. That day is coming here probably in the next 10 months. And so I've just been kind of looking around at pricing, looking around at inventory, and the website is so user-friendly. Go to fabrychevrolet.com. You can sort by new vehicles. You can sort by pre-owned vehicles. If you've just got a budget in mind and not sure what you can get for that, search by price. You've got that. If you're looking for a pre-owned vehicle, but you've got a mileage limitation on that, search by mileage. They've got you there. All of it is right there, and it's so functional. Plus, the entire inventory is there at fabrychevrolet.com. So you can start your buying process there and see what's going on. And then I highly recommend you just make that short drive to St. Francisville and see the people at Fabry Chevrolet GMC. They're wonderful to work with. You'll have fantastic customer service. So start that buying process today at fabrychevrolet.com.
When it comes to industrial construction, River Parish Contractors can do it all. Mechanical, structural, custom fabrication, specialized welding, and turnaround services. Strategically located in between Baton Rouge and New Orleans, we have the local team with the experience and commitment to safety to manage the most complex industrial projects. Period. Here's the deal. Partnering with us means your project is delivered on time, on budget, and most important, safely. River Parish Contractors, let's get building.
Box combo for George. I see you, Luis. Food's on the way.
Please don't. Hey, you know you can use your hands, right?
Got those box combos for you. Raising Cane's chicken fingers. One love.
At Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer, we know you deserve value when you purchase equipment. Right now, take advantage of the powerful 3025E tractor for just $297 a month, with 0% financing for 72 months. Tractor packages with a trailer also available. Whether you're tackling land, property, or projects, get your job done. Don't wait. This offer ends June 30th.